Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to episode 82 of the Prosperous Yogini Podcast. First one of 2024. So happy new year, my lovelies. Now, if you are watching on YouTube or you're like, oh, your sound quality sounds a little bit better, Amy, I am back in the cupboard over Christmas. My husband, who edits my podcast, took me aside and was like, Amy, listen, sound quality of your podcast has not been as good since you've moved out of your cupboard under the stairs. I've either been recording in his office or in my garden yoga studio. And he's like, why have you moved out of the cupboard under the stairs? I was like, I don't know. It's just habit, more comfier. So I've made the big effort to move back into my cupboard under the stairs. And Pancake, my golden doodle, she was feeling lonely, so she's come into this small cupboard into the stairs. So I don't know if she's going to disturb today's podcast, but I'm like, let's give it a go, because she did not want to be shut outside. Okay, my darlings. Now, before I get going on today's podcast episode, I want to say thank you to everyone who's already listened to 81, got in touch with me and gone, Amy, that was incredible. It is an incredible episode. I'm going to go out and say maybe my best one to date. I interviewed Caroline from Humble Yoga Warrior. She's in my mentorship program, but Caroline shares her story of being a single mum, working 30 to 40 hours a week in a supermarket, her personal struggles with perimenopausal stages of her life, acute anxiety, navigating COVID, from teaching in person to where she is now, really at the start of growing her online business. And what's so powerful is I don't think that story, being at the start of growing an online business, I don't think that's shared enough. We often hear about people with 5-figure launches, 6-figure businesses. We're often drawn to the end result, right? Or the result we desire. And not enough people say, well, look, here I am in my business. This is the successes that I've had to date. And this is where I'm going. And I just think Caroline's story will be inspirational for you all. So please go back and listen to episode 81. So today's podcast, episode 82, is 3 steps for profitable yoga business. Why am I doing this at the start of 2024? Because my masterclass this month is the Profitable Yoga Business Roadmap Masterclass and Coaching Call. It is only £33. So if you like today's podcast episode, if you love a little boost to your business at the start of 2024, the opportunity to ask me a question, get my eyes on your business and the coaching call. I'm doing pre-submitted questions and I'll be answering them all. So my personal response to your question, your business, all for £33. Click on the link in the show notes, and I'd love to see you live on the 14th of January. But there are, as ever, always replays. Now, while I'm talking about investment in you and your yoga business, I'd also like to just highlight the fact that the doors to my mentorship program are opening on the 22nd of January until the 31st. Everyone who's in my mentorship program is already coming to Profitable Yoga Business Roadmap, because my mentorship program, along with a whole load of other wonderful things that I'm not going to talk about today, click on the link, have a read. I will give you more information about my mentorship program in the coming weeks. But along with all the wonderful things that happen in my mentorship program for the incredible price that it is, you also get access to any live masterclass that I do. So it's also a good thing. The Profitable Yoga Business Roadmap is a great start to 2024. That might be enough for you. It might also be a good place for you to come if you're like, oh, yeah, you know what, Amy, you're right, I shouldn't be doing this alone. It is really hard alone. I'd love you to save me time and help me make money. I really, really love yoga. I love teaching yoga. I want to do more of this. I want this to be profitable. I want to share my gifts with the world, help people and make money. I know that the world need women to rise up. I know that the world needs women to shine their light into the world and bring more wealth into our hands. Imagine how different the world could look if more conscious people, more conscious, kind-hearted women had more money in their hands, and were doing what was calling them, the hollering in the heart, what lights them up. Look, listen, come into the mentorship program. It is very affordable. And I'm going to say this now. Everyone to date has made their investment back. It's priced in a way that you cannot fail to make your investment back. And I know what your beautiful brain will say right now. I'm the one that's going to be different. Honestly, that's just a lie that your beautiful brain is telling you. You've got me as your mentor, my 14 plus years of experience of being a yoga teacher, a woman in business, a sole trader, self-employed entrepreneur, a one-man band. Look, I get it all and I can help you with it all. All right, my darlings, shall we get on to today's podcast episode? Because this is why I show up here every week, because I am dedicated to helping you all for free on my podcast. And then when you feel ready, into my paid offers. Okay, so 3 steps for profitable yoga business are as followed. And the reason why I picked 3 steps is I do think it can feel quite complex. Like, we believe that running a business is hard. And I'll have to do all these magical, mystical things. Q, overwhelm. Q, I don't do it. Q, I don't take action. Q, I don't do that thing that is gnawing away, that hollering the heart. And Q, I stay stuck where I am. And that is so common for so many women. And we feel like there's already so many things on our plates. Oh, and I've got to learn to run a business. I've got to learn to do this. No, it's just not possible, right? Whereas I strip it back to 3 simple steps that you can start taking today, then suddenly it becomes possible. Because actually these 3 simple steps help all the stuff that may seem complicated, overwhelming: social media strategy, content plan, copy for your website, offers, filling your classes. Like, I could go on, right? All of this stuff, like, it's just like the noise. These 3 points is when I strip it back. This is what matters. So nail what you are good at. What lights you up? What, and in the present moment, because this can change. You're a human being. We're led by curiosity. We'll be like, maybe, things are changing for you. What lights you up? What are you feel like you're being called to do, right? And if you're not sure, like, sometimes you have to go out and try. And like, if you're loving something more than other, I would say follow that. It is so important, if you are self-employed and you're creating and growing your business, that you grow it in a way that you are enjoying what you're doing, right? Because that's one of the reasons, surely, that we have chosen to be self-employed, right? To pursue what lights us up, to pursue our interests. So nail what you're good at. And the other thing, and this has really come through for me towards the end of 2023, if you hear any rustling, that's Pancake, she's between my legs. What came through to me very strongly towards the end of 2023 is like, I'm not just a yoga teacher. Yes, I've been doing this for 14 years. Yes, I'm an experienced trainer. But prior to my life as a yoga teacher, I spent 12 years in education. I had roles in senior management. I set up the PGCE, the first PGCE music secondary education course in Cornwall. I ran musicals. I put on productions and the Hall for Cornwall. Like, I was like, just got this humongous diverse skill set. And I think this is very, very common for yoga teachers. Like, we go, oh, I've just qualified. I'm brand new to this. I'm a complete beginner at this. And I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute. You've got other life experiences, other skills that you are bringing into the mix of you. So nail what you're good at. Great book to read is Gay Hendricks' The Big Leap. He talks about your zone of genius, and your zone of genius is this place. Like, my podcast is an example of one of my zones of genius. I can talk for Britain. Sticking this mic in front of me, other than having to make sure my golden doodle is happy where she is, it's not a trauma for me. It flows. I love doing it. It's never, oh God, I got to do this. It's definitely one of my zone of geniuses, which is why, I've chosen it as one of my main broadcast channels, one of the main places where I connect and support you for free, right? So, and it could be a bit hard though, like zone of genius, right? I don't want to say I'm a genius at anything. I don't want to say, that word expert comes up, doesn't it? Position yourself as a trusted expert. And you're like, oh my God, like, but actually, what am I good at? What am I passionate about? What am I able to help people? Yeah, there might be some people that are better than you. Like, I'm sure, I know there's people with, more downloads, more podcast episodes than I am, better, not in a cupboard under those stairs and all of this stuff. But you know what? I know my podcast is needed by my tribe, and I know that I'm good at talking. So I'm much better at talking than writing. So, that's why I'm not blog posting every week, but I am writing my podcast. That's why my show notes are relatively short. Listen to the podcast. Don't read the show notes other than to go and check out my Profitable Yoga Business Roadmap, Masterclass, and my mentorship program. Otherwise, don't read the show notes. Okay, so now what you are good at, what lights you up, what are you being called to do? And it's okay if it's something that's different from now. We can pivot, we can go down different paths. If you're not sure if the answer to that is a bit colored, a bit muddy, don't then use that as an excuse to not do anything. Go out, try, test, find, and feel. Okay, and step 2 is gather your tribe. One of the things I like to say to myself is the world is a really big place, and the world is a really big place, and there's room for us all. You are so unique. You are the only person. This kind of goes back to point 1. You're the only person who's had your experience of the practice of yoga. Do you think of all the yoga teachers, all the people practicing yoga, all the styles of yoga, all the books, yada, 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 right? Your experience of the practice is utterly unique to you, and you bring that to your teaching. No one can do you. Okay. So there is your needed, right? And your tribe, your group of people who energetically resonate with that, you need to gather them in. Now, the challenge with gathering our tribe is you've got to put yourself out there. Look, I know how hard it is as a solo female entrepreneur to go, hey, this is me. This is what I look like. This is what I sound like. This is what I can do. This is what I stand for. These are my opinions. This is what I'm offering. This is how I can help you. Because in all of that, some people are going to go, I disagree with her. Oh, I don't like the way she looks. I don't want that, and that's really tough. But actually, that's a great place to be in, because if you are repelling people, that's a sign that you're also drawing people to you. Yeah. And we need to gather our tribe, the people that we want coming into our classes, into our workshops, into our retreats, whatever the offer is. We want them to love us. I'm sure you've been there where you've taught, someone in a class and you've had that feeling that they've not really liked it. And, what's it like to teach that person? And then they don't come back, and you're like, oh, I'm glad that person didn't come back. Do you know why that is? Yeah, because not because they know more about yoga with you and they were able to spot that you weren't a very good yoga teacher. No. Or that they just weren't a very nice person. No, right? What that is just it was an energetic dissonance, an energetic mismatch. Okay. So to gather your tribe, you do have to start talking. You start broadcasting about who you are. Now, when I say broadcasting, I'm not thinking about getting yourself on the BBC couch, although, media exposure is one way that you can gather your tribe 100%. But it might be like putting up a flyer. I want to see your face in the flyer, going around local businesses, handing out your flyer, talking to people, going on your personal Facebook page and talking to people, telling your friends and family about what you're doing and asking them to help you spread the word. It might be going onto social media, showing your face, at the very least, that little circle on Instagram, that at the top there, I should see your face. Okay. It's so important that you show your face. This is the difficulty. It should feel wherever you're appearing, on your website, social media, on flyers, in person, like it should feel a little bit like the You Show. And I know we go, oh gosh, people are going to think I'm like, talking too much about myself. Well, first of all, the first person, the only person that hears everything that you put out in terms of marketing, talking to people, is you. Second of all, no one thinks that. And third of all, if anyone does think that, they're not your tribe. Okay. It's like this scattergun effect of hello, right? Not only that, when you're gathering your tribe, you're not just like, hello, I'm going to teach yoga for everyone. Anybody fancy it? Right. Okay. That is very general. Okay. All right. Hello, I'm going to be teaching a strong Ashtanga yoga class, physical yoga practice to build strength and flexibility. Okay, all of a sudden I've heard the word strong, I've heard the word physical, I've heard the word strength and flexibility, I've heard the word Ashtanga, which I may or may not be familiar with, but that is instantly starting to call out to me who I'm for. I've got a lady in my mentorship program who's Kundalini based teacher, and she's been like, and I'm like, listen, I know what Kundalini yoga is, you know what Kundalini yoga is, and absolutely there'll be a group of people specifically looking for Kundalini yoga. But the reality is many people don't. What it is that you're offering? Well, it's a gentle yoga class, breath work, mindfulness, meditation practices. I was like, right, get really, really clear on what it is you're offering. How will that make me feel? Why might I want your yoga class? Okay, so you're talking to your tribe. You understand their pain points, what they're suffering from, but don't get too hooked on that, because there's loads of suffering on the world. What we focus on expands. Talk about how you can help them, the transformation that you offer, why they need you and your approach to yoga in their lives, right? Not just some general yoga suitable for everybody. Like, yoga is 100% suitable for everybody. Okay. But your yoga class, you are not suitable for everyone. Not everyone's going to like you. And the class is not suitable for everyone. You've got to be really clear. And in this, now what you're good at and gather your tribe, this might get you starting to think, okay, well, she wants me to niche down, right, and do one thing. Look, no, actually, I don't. Like, it's unlikely most of us are going to be that super niche. Some of us, yes, but most of us not. It might work for you to be super niche, right? But for most of us, I'll give you an example. I've had a lady who's trained in pre and postnatal with me. She had a background. Okay, here you go. She had a background as a health worker, supporting mums and little ones as a health worker. She wasn't a foundation teacher trainer 200 hours, but she came in and did my specialist pre and postnatal teacher training. And she knew she would be really good at supporting mums and mums to be, and specialized in yoga that helps them. And because she get mums and mums to be, she's built an amazing business, thriving business, just teaching pregnancy, postnatal, mum and baby yoga, baby massage, and birth workshops. Okay. And yes, that's her niche. Very recently, she came to me. She says, I'm thinking of doing your yin training because some of my mums, their babies are getting a bit older now, and they're asking about coming to some yoga. And I'm like, yes. See, so what matters actually is you can be good at several things. We often are. But you can't do, when you're starting out, you want to kind of like, you saw me 14 years ago, I was just teaching vinyasa yoga. All right. I nailed that. I gathered my tribe of people who like my style of vinyasa yoga, because, oh my God, like, this vinyasa just means to flow with the breath. So vinyasa yoga, we will probably expect it to be a physical class, but, I don't teach a huge amount of inversions and arm balances. Not very good at them. They're not my thing. Whereas I could go to a vinyasa yoga class where we're floating up into an arm balance and jumping back into chaturanga. Like, they are both vinyasa yoga classes and both are needed, right? But within the style of vinyasa yoga, the approach of the teacher is very unique. So that's why you know what you're good at. You teach what is aligned for you. You gather your tribe by going out there, putting yourself out there, knowing that some people are going to come along and go, nope, this isn't for me. Great. Because the more you get your super fans, the people that love what you do and come to everything, right, the more they will help you gather your tribe. So now what you're good at, gather your tribe, and you can be nailing it, what you're good at on several levels, and you can be gathering different communities. But isn't it easier to start with one thing, build that, okay? Gather that community, you learn the systems, the processes to gather a community around a particular offer, and then the world is your oyster, my darling. And then step 3, that final step, is create offers that you and your tribe love. And I'm going to say create offers that light you up, okay, that your tribe will love and need, okay? And I think, have your tribe in mind. One thing I think we must remember is where we are in terms of yoga teachers, our experience of the practice, what we might like. Our students might like that too, but they are, this is why we're needed, because, let's say, you know, I'm on YouTube, I'm realizing you're not seeing this, like you're X along your journey and experience of the yoga practice. Well, your students are going to be a few steps back for you, and that's why you're needed. That's why you don't need to have 14 years experience behind you. Okay, that from the beginning, from the day dot, you are needed, whatever part of your journey that you are on in terms of yoga teacher. But I think it's really important. I've done a whole podcast on leaning into what you love. This leaning into what you love, nailing what you're good at. This is all part of this, as Gay Hendricks calls it in The Big Leap, your zone of genius. You're just in the creative flow. You're in energetic alignment. Everything our yoga practice teaches us. And if you love it, you get excited about it. If you get excited about it, it's so much easier to tell people about it. If you love it, you're excited about it, and someone comes along and goes, it's not for me, you're like, that's okay, but I'm still really excited about it. I know it's needed. If you love it and you're excited about it and you put it out there, and at first you don't succeed, but you know it's needed, you carry on. My mentorship program is very like that. The mentorship program has evolved, it has shifted, of course, but I first opened the doors to it in June 2022, and 4 people came in at like this beta launch price, and they were the only 4 people that came in June 2022. I couldn't persuade anyone else to come in. I couldn't have given it away for free, right? And I knew I was good at it. I knew it was needed, but I needed to get clearer on my messaging and give myself time to gather my tribe. I gave myself time to gather my tribe. I got behind actually launching and, putting myself out there a little bit more, even though I know that I would be repelling some people. And I kind of think, actually, I should know this number. I think over 30 people came in 2023. And I know more people are coming in 2024, because mentorship is needed, and the results and transformation of my mentorship program, because I love the offer, my tribe love the offer. I've had people go through it, then how their results, their experience, their testimonials on the experience of being in my mentorship program, they're helping me to continue to gather your tribe. That all comes from nailing what I'm good at, gathering my tribe, and making offers that my tribe and me love. But because I love it so much, if it's not first fully received, I stay with it, because so often we could go, I'm going to give up. This isn't needed. I can't feel this class, it isn't needed. And I'm like, well, how long have you been gathering your tribe? How many people know this? Is it really clear who you are, what it is you're offering, and why people want this class? Like, these are like your foundations, okay? And we often, and headstand's exciting, right? Yeah, let us go and do a headstand. What are the foundations to that? What is the build up to that? What are the drills? Oh, they're all a bit boring, to be honest. You've got to put in the hard yard. You've got to put in the time. It doesn't have to be hard, right? You can enjoy the process, but you have to give yourself time. So if you are liking the sound of all of this, on Sunday, the 14th of January, 7 p.m. UK time, there is a replay. I will be covering this in a lot more detail. There'll be a slide deck. You'll be able to have access to the replay and the slide deck. If you're there live, there'll be the opportunity to ask me some questions specifically on those 3 steps to a profitable yoga business. Know what you're good at, gather your tribe, and make offers that you and your tribe love. Okay. Lean into what you love and be brave, my darling. Be prepared to fail. Be prepared to be a beginner. Be prepared to be at the beginning of your journey. Go back and listen to episode 81. We don't have to have all the answers. Nobody have all the answers. These people that you may aspire to on, Instagram, with large Instagram followings, 6-7 figure businesses. I don't know, right? Maybe it's even me that you look to, right? I've been doing this for 14 years. I make clangers all the time. I put stuff out there that doesn't sell, and I have days where I think, oh, you know what, there are people out here doing this much better than I am. maybe this isn't what I should be doing. I have those days, my darling. We are all the same. We are all in the same boat. We might be at different stages of business, different stages of experiences, different stages of our path. It doesn't make me better than you. It doesn't make that person that you look to and aspire to better than you. Like, we're all just human beings. We've all got a light to shine. I just say, let's shine it. Who cares how many followers you've got on Instagram? So I'd love to see you for that Profitable Yoga Business Masterclass. And there's a coaching call. So Friday the 19th, 6 p.m. UK time, I'll be answering your pre-submitted questions. So it doesn't matter whether you can attend live or not. That's going to be an amazing private podcast feed. And what an opportunity to have ask me a question directly and have me personally look at that and your business for £33. I was like, this is a no-brainer, my darling, right? So hit the link in the show notes. And then, as you know, doors to my mentorship program are opening on the 22nd of January. And I would really, really, you know, if it's right for you, love to see you in there. You know, spend some time having a look at the sales page, looking on what's on offer. If you want to get in touch and have a chat to me, I'm happy. Reach out on WhatsApp, happy to chat on WhatsApp, happy to hop on a Zoom call. You know, it's really interesting. Like, if I was selling a training course, like, you know, it doesn't come, does it? Right? When you think about, oh, I'm going to invest in a yin teacher training course, I'm going to train in pre and postnatal. Once we've got past the initial, oh my God, I'm going to train to be a yoga teacher. That's a big decision, I know. But once we get past that, you know, training, investing in training, it doesn't feel that scary. Whereas mentorship, where you're like, oh, okay, so I'm saying that I'd really like to make this happen. This feels super scary. I get this, right? But you can do all the training courses in the world, and it'd be great, you know, for you to grow your business, expand your teaching schedule, enhance your offers. This is all great. I think training is an essential part of a yoga teacher's journey. But you know what? This is like one of my questions for you. If you're finding the business side of things hard, if you are like wishing that you could fill your classes more easily, if you're wishing that you could make more money as a yoga teacher, all of these things, right? And you're finding like the business side of things hard, right? I just want to ask you, if you think about all the time, energy, effort, and money that you've invested in training to be a yoga teacher, how does that compare to running a business? And then you can be like, well, I want to be a yoga teacher. I don't want to be a business owner. I've been in that place, right? I really get that. I really get, look, I just want to get to my mat, you know, do my own practice and then go and share my practice with my students. Like, I get that. And I really want you to do that too. That should be the core part of your work. But as a yoga teacher, as a custodian of my business, the best thing I could do to enable me to have the opportunity to get on my mat whenever I want, to teach as many people, my tribe that I can gather as humanly possible, in this given moment in time, the best thing I could do is actually invest a bit of time in understanding the business side of things, making it easier for myself. I save you time and money. I can't remember what episode it is, but Annette Talk, who's in the mentorship program, just that's one of the biggest messages. She's like, you have saved me so much time. You know, I was able to go for you to a question, you were like, yeah, do this and this and this, like, and we, you know what, we don't get back time. Anyway, my darling, I'm not going to talk about this anymore because will be talking much more about the mentorship program in the next few weeks. I really am inviting you to come in. I really am inviting you to say yes. If it's not for you this time, that's okay as well. Don't want anyone feeling like they're failing. We're all on our own path. I'm going to be here for you free every week in terms of the podcast. But like, I think if you're a bit wobbly about it, if you're like, I'd love to, but I think if you're in that place, just get in contact with me. I have no pushy hard sales here. But you know, figuring this stuff out alone, gosh, it's so hard. Or if you don't want to chat to me about it, go through some of the previous podcast episodes, go onto my YouTube channel, look at the stories. There's obviously Caroline's last week, but there are others. Look at the stories of those people that have been in the mentorship program. You'll notice just they're just like you. And have a think about, you know, their experience and how that feels if that was you as well. All right, my darlings, I'll see you all next week.